Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Let's take a look at the headlines. The Ministry of Justice and the Chief Justice extend condolences to the family of Justice Kangaloo. AmCham conference highlights job safety. And the Warriors take a relaxing break from their rigorous practice for this weekend's quarter-final clash. To our top story, the Ministry of Justice has joined with numerous legal luminaries in expressing deep sympathy for the Kangaloo family following the passing of Justice of Appeal, Mr. Justice Wendell Kangaloo. Justice Kangaloo passed away this morning, a little over 1 year after suffering extensive injuries in a car accident.
The family of Senior Appeal Judge Mr. Justice Wendell Kangaloo has advised the judiciary of his peaceful passing, which occurred at 1:40 a.m. today. He died as a result of complications related to the injuries he sustained in a car accident in May of 2012. The Honorable Chief Justice Mr. Justice Ivor Archie has issued his condolences to the family, but is asking them to face the reality with the same strength and courage with which Justice Kangaloo confronted his challenges. He describes Justice Kangaloo's passing as leaving a void not easily replenished. He adds Justice Kangaloo was more than a colleague, describing him as a wise counsel, a true friend, a good teacher, and an extraordinary person whose sense of humor endeared him to all. The Chief Justice praises Justice Kangaloo's incisive, detailed, objective, fair, and fearless judgments, his passion for the law, and the manner in which he fully embraced the judiciary's efforts at transforming itself into a high-performing professional organization. Justice Archie goes on to say that the judiciary joins in saluting his legacy, sharing the grief over his passing, but also celebrating his life. Justice Wendell Kangaloo was admitted to the bar in October 1984 and appointed a High Court judge in February 1996 at the age of 39, one of the youngest persons to assume that office. He was elevated to the Court of Appeal in December 2001 and at the time of his passing was the most senior appellate judge, acting as Chief Justice on numerous occasions. The judiciary will be making condolence books available for public signing at the Hall of Justice on Knox Street in Port of Spain and at the Supreme Court in San Fernando and the Hall of Justice in Scarborough, Tobago. Meanwhile, Minister of Justice, Senator the Honorable Christlyn Moore, on behalf of her and her ministry, is also extending condolences, strength and best wishes to the family and friends of Justice Kangaloo in this time of grief. The ministry adds Justice Kangaloo will always be remembered for his stellar contribution in shaping the judicial landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
In other news, a successful business does not only depend on generating revenue but maintaining safety on the job. This was the message members of AmCham highlighted during their annual HSSE conference, where Energy Minister the Honorable Kevin Ramnarine spoke on the policies needed to sustain this type of business.
The call for health and safety compliance within the industrial sector continues to be echoed by HSE operators and managers. This was the focus of AmCham's 17th annual HSSE conference and exhibition. The conference, which runs for 2 days, attracts over 300 HSE professionals from all walks in the industry. Driving home this message of good practices towards environment, social and regulatory issues is Executive Director of the Occupational Safety and Health Authority and Agency, Alexis Bousson, who says OSHA compliance means protecting and safeguarding lives.
For those less likely to voluntarily comply, these projects amplify our national presence and alert them that OSHA is aware, monitoring and ready to enforce the law in the best interests of our people. It is important that I reiterate here that OSHA is a law enforcement body. However, it is not our goal to undermine the economic viability of the nation, but to underscore the importance of prioritizing and protecting human life above concerns for the economic success of a few. It is therefore essential to ensure large employers and major contributors to the GDP takes urgent steps to become voluntarily compliant. An essential part of ensuring that the message of safety and health is universally heard across the nation is hinged on our ability to network and form strategic alliances with other like-minded organizations. The challenge of attaining HSSE excellence is not only dependent on forums such as these, where information is shared, but also on industrial establishments making use of the information and service providers who are able to treat with situations as they arise.
Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine says such a change will take place when industries work alongside regulators and policymakers.
In our draft HSSE guidelines, we have advocated the development by energy companies of a comprehensive risk management plan, which includes the assessment, prevention, mitigation, response and recovery techniques for potential risk and disasters in the conduct of the operations. Ladies and gentlemen, consequent on a series of major incidents over the last decade, the global energy industry and regulators have adopted more stringent procedures for oil and gas operations, particularly in deep water. The Ministry of Energy has been keeping abreast of these developments to ensure that it is in line with new and updated procedures in oil and gas exploration.
But while companies strive to maintain their innovation and productivity levels, ensuring safety is never compromised and always supported should remain a priority.
As the search for oil and gas moves into more technically challenging areas, companies are being pushed to find new ways of operating that are innovative while ensuring personal and process safety. And this calls for innovation and a method that draws on a combined and integrated approach. Safety must be an integral part of the process from well design to reservoir development.
Another element of safety involves employee health. According to Atlantic LNG's CEO Nigel Darlow, implementing training programs that involve health and fitness has become part of his company's HSE policy.
Atlantic has also implemented a rigorous Fit for Work program to ensure that we assess our employees and contractors and we satisfy ourselves that they're deemed medically fit to perform their work. Atlantic was the first operator company in Trinidad and Tobago to be STOW certified, and we're very proud of that as per the Energy Chamber requirement. I think we recognise that our contractors are key partners with us in our business, and they are key contributors in Atlantic's overall HSE performance. And in fact, about 2/3 of our man-hours are actually carried out by our contractor base. So we sought to work very closely with our contractors on all our health and safety initiatives, including our Fit to Work programme, our fatigue management initiative, our joint walk downs that we have with the contractors, involving them in competency training.
Fostering this consciousness and awareness in the area of occupational health and safety in both private and public sector spheres, according to AmCham, makes good business sense. This year's team has been selected as HSSE Excellence, Economic Success through Innovative, Integrated HSSE Strategies. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
When we come back, revitalizing the root crop and milk industries. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Food Production Minister, the Honourable Devant Maharaj, outlined plans to revitalise the root crop industry. During the weekly post-Cabinet media briefing, the Minister unveiled the proposals as well as Cabinet's decision to revise the rebate given to dairy farmers.
Plans to boost the root crop industry in Trinidad and Tobago and reduce its dependency on importing this commodity are on the cards. This comes on the heels of the Minister making announcements earlier this year to reintroduce the local production of rice by resuscitating rice farming on 300 acres of land in Plummitan. Food Production Minister Devant Maharaj, in outlining the plan, says this includes the development of new varieties of cassava and working together with research entities in rolling out this crop with high yields.
The use of root crop on-farm field demonstration plots as practical teaching sites for the extension officers as well as farmers using the farmer field school methodological approach. In addition to these main areas of focus, the Ministry of Food Production will also be addressing the identification and selection of the appropriate machinery for the increased mechanization, post-harvest technology, which will include the provision of cold storage facilities, promote further development and the commercialization of value-added products, train personnel and officers, further conduct a promotional campaign encouraging eat local as cassava and sweet potato in all different forms, and preparation of a root crop industry strategic 10-year plan.
He notes that critical to this is meeting goals set out by government in reducing the food import bill and developing the sector to a more efficient one.
The plan to develop the local food crop industry has several objectives, including an increase in the overall efficiency and productivity in the local root crop industry through knowledge transfer training, the use of modern mechanized production technologies, high-yielding varieties, and efficient value-added system, to produce a higher quality of locally produced root crops for both fresh and value-added markets, to facilitate increased private sector participation in the major rules along the root crop commodity value chain, whilst at the same time reducing the role and reliance of the state, and to develop sustainable, profitable, and private sector-led root crop industry. And it is against these objective background that a target has been set to reduce import staple by values ranging between 25% to 50% over the next 2 years.
Meanwhile, Minister Maharaj says a decision was taken based on analysis to revise a rebate issued to local dairy farmers. He says this comes as it looks to ensure local milk producers are given a fair chance in the market.
The benefits of the new protocol include clear standards are now available for all processors to qualify for the administration of the milk rebate. All qualified milk processors are now eligible for administering the milk rebate. A level playing field is now set for all processors to purchase milk from farmers. More efficient delivery of the milk rebate, as farmers have a wider choice of processors to sell their products. A stimulus to the development of the dairy sector, as the rebate to farmers will be more readily available. A stimulant to the development of the meat industry, as increased meat production goes hand in hand with an increase in the dairy industry. An increase in agribusiness, as more entrepreneurs would be encouraged to go into downstream industries of milk, including the production of pasteurized milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream, and so on.
Earlier this month, the minister launched a campaign in collaboration with Nestle Trinidad to support local dairy farmers through a contribution of $1 from every litre of UHT low-fat and full-cream milk sold to the sustainable development of the dairy industry, following the ministry's introduction of 60 new cattle imported from the US to boost genetics of local livestock. Kimberly Calawan, News 4.
Cadets from across the country will converge in Tobago for this year's Cadet Force annual training camp. The camp will provide an excellent opportunity for cadets to enhance their skills and abilities while building on the experiences of members of the Defense Force.
A contingent of 600 plus cadets and adult staff will attend the Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force Annual Training Camp 2013 from Wednesday 17 July to Wednesday 31st July at the Signal Hill Secondary School. The camp will afford cadets an opportunity to work with their respective counterparts in the units of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and provide practical experiences in various simulated training exercises for a greater experience and adventure which is not always available during the school term. ATC 2013 is under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Ellis Robinson, Deputy Commandant of the Cadet Force. The general public, and specifically residents and motorists in the general vicinity of the campsite, are advised that cadet personnel will be engaged in various sport or physical training activity in the environs of the camp in small and large groups. Persons are therefore urged to exercise caution when approaching the groups while on their training during the period. Meanwhile, parents of cadets attending camp are advised to pay attention to the Cadet Force website at www.ttcadets.com and its Facebook page for updates and relevant information on return travel schedules and pickup locations. On Friday, July 19th, Minister of National Security, Senator the Honorable Emmanuel George, will officially declare the camp open at the site during an opening ceremony, while the camp will parade through the streets of Scarborough on Friday, July 26th. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
When we come back, the Soca Warriors in Atlanta. Stay with us. Welcome back. Days before their quarterfinal clash, the Warriors took a break from their rigorous practice to visit the famous Georgia Aquarium. News 4's Wayne Cunningham caught up with the players and filed this exclusive report.
News 4 Sports at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Courtesy the Ministry of Sports and the Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago.
It was time for some R&R after 2 hectic weeks of football in the CONCACAF Gold Cup for the Soca Warriors. So the staff took the team to the Georgia Aquarium to see the fishes. Well, we're here at the Georgia Aquarium with the Soca Warriors on a day off, after the hectic schedule in the CONCACAF Gold Cup, a lot of tropical fishes and so forth, and a nice atmosphere here to cool down before practice this afternoon. But Carlos said, was you impressed with the fishes and so forth?
Yeah, really impressed. First time I've been to Atlanta, first and foremost, and coming to see all the fishes and different types of sea creatures, and they're real nice.
We're here with Cleon John also. Cleon, I think some of them fishes we just see at home, but on plates, eh?
Yeah, true. Some of the fishes that are here are real big, and real nice in here.
I see you watching this thing right closely just now, like you could see that in a pot.
True, yeah, I can really see that in a pot and truth, yeah.
Your experience here at the Seaquarium, you seen anything you like?
First thing first, it's nice to be here together with the team, and looking at some beautiful fish, sharks, and it's amazing here, it's amazing, and just delighted to be here and taking a look at it, and it's great.
All right, Kevin Carter, Defense Force. Tell me what your Gold Cup experience like up to this point.
Well, for everyone, this is an international tournament. It's a great experience. I think the team is doing well. We're looking forward to the game on weekend against Mexico.
The exciting young Joven Jones. Tell me what's the best thing you see here at the aquarium?
Dolphins. Yeah.
Dolphins already?
Nah.
That's what you want to see?
Yeah.
Tayo, you're looking nice, cool, and relaxed. Like you're ready for them?
Yeah, well, long time. Born ready.
All right, nice.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, everything good?
Yeah. Just enjoying the moment.
Let's take in some of the sights at the Georgia Aquarium. I'm Wayne Cunningham at the Gold Cup in Atlanta, Georgia for News 4 Sports.
News 4 Sports at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Courtesy the Ministry of Sports and the Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago.
Wayne Cunningham and Nicholson Paul clearly having themselves a fishy time. More news right after this. Stay with us. His story is one that has been featured on CNN and ESPN after having finished the 2011 Ironman triathlon as the first triple amputee to compete. Rajesh Durbal, while he continues to defy odds with his Superman capabilities through his prosthetic limbs, he has been appointed as a social motivator for the Ministry of the People and Social Development.
Rajesh Durbal is not your normal athlete, and in some ways he can be considered a superhuman. Having lost 3 of his limbs at an early age, as he was born with a congenital deformity of both lower legs and his right arm, with both legs amputated below the knee at age 1, he endured surgery to replace bones in each leg and his partial right arm. Durbal was fitted with prosthetic legs at an early age and learned how to do things on his own. In 2011, he created history when he finished the Ironman triathlon in Hawaii as the world's first triple amputee to compete and finish the event. Today, Rajesh Durbal has been appointed as Trinidad and Tobago's global ambassador. Minister of the People and Social Development, Dr. Glenn Ramadasing, says his story is one that can serve as a motivator to many others who may be in a situation and are in need of inspiration.
Sometimes these examples stir us, to give them the confidence that things can be better. There can be a better tomorrow if you will it and want it to be. If you really conceive something, if you really believe it, you can achieve it. Sometimes we hear those words and we don't pay much attention. But when we have examples that you can see and feel and touch, examples that tell us that there can be a better life, that there's something more to reach to. And if you, in the pursuit of that exercise, you become an exemplar for so many to rise.
Durbal grew up in New York City and participated in a number of events as a child, and now juggles a career as an information technology engineer together with his athletic pursuits. But his life was not always full of positive energy and hope, as he describes his past as one where he came close to giving up. However, his desire to do more stemmed from embarking on a spiritual journey where he believes he found his purpose.
I wanted to make a lifestyle change and realize that life could be lived a whole lot more better than how I was living it. Though I had all the material possessions that I could possibly want and luxuries that you consider worldly possessions that everybody strives to have, I felt like there was something lacking in my life, personally, emotionally, and I needed to discover that. And I went on this journey to start walking 5Ks and quit smoking, quit doing all the negative things that take you down a road that's a dead end. And I just decided to make a lifestyle change and discover a part of myself. And that's what really helped me spark that journey.
Last year, Durbal returned to the birthplace of his parents, where he linked up with the Trinidad and Tobago Paralympic Committee. In 2013, he has come back home and paired with the Ministry of the People with hopes of inspiring other disabled persons.
Life before was confusing, lost, broken, unloving of myself, feelings to want my life to end, no purpose and no passion. And all those emotional challenges inside of me, that's what I was struggling with years and years and years and years. And we look at the Ironman as an Ironman, but that race was won, and I crossed that finish line long before I even started that race. And that was a personal journey within myself. So that's what my life was about before I even started to make a choice to live better. I do a lot of adaptive sports clinics with other organizations. We're working on facilities for disabled people in the States to help facilitate that. Life coaching. I do tours, speaking tours around the world now. So we do a lot of that to bring a lot of hope and inspiration to people. So that's outside of triathlon. Just things that I'm passionate about, just helping people that need help and hope.
The collaboration involves motivational events such as the MPSD's HEAL, Healthy Eating Active Lifestyles. Minister Ramadas Singh says his coming on board is part of a drive to change the culture and branding of the ministry as one empowering people.
We want to see each client as a potential health and fitness freak. We want to see each person who comes with a disability grant, who can't work, coming to get back to work. We want to move from welfare to work. And in order to do that, the health of the individual is of paramount importance.
Durbal credits his faith and a change in his life to Christ, and over the years he has created his own foundation, Live Free, where he shares his inspirational story through his catchphrases, "Sweat is nothing compared to the tears," and urging those to press forward by telling them to take a leap of faith. Kimduram Kalawan, News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.